Sammy the Bull. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Eccentric RockStar'Seed, and I don't know why I just heard provocative messages for you. Keep in mind, take what resonates, leave what does not. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So what I feel like with the yours is a more laid back energy, by the way, Taurus. But what I feel like is the provocative energy is someone who wants to be provocative towards you. But that's because you're in your elements. Planet Venus, receptive, empress, creative energy, and you're watering your own garden, and you have big picture thinking, and that's so pretty.
Sorry.
Okay, while you're alone, isolated, nurturing, tending to your own self, pouring back into yourself, like self-love. You have 7 daughters in the spiritual realm waiting to be born. But you're not going to access it until you assume your mission. There's a command on you. You could be a light worker, star seed, or just serve the world by being you. So it's something that's more aligned with who you authentically are. And then when I split this deck, you got the magician. You see how he's like trying to figure out what keys to hit to get you, but to no avail. He's feeling defeated. And then what's healing for you is your root chakra. So you're grounding yourself. You're getting more serious about who you are and what you're going to be doing. And you're speaking up and letting your voice be heard. And then you have yang energy, which is opposite of your natural energy. But this is you taking accountability, being proactive, expressive, doing forward motion. Like, I got to get this process started with this big picture thinking. Saturn. Feeling restricted, experience, struggle, learn hard work and patience. This vision of mine is not going to take place unless I actually I'm going to have to do the work. I'm going to have to buckle down and do the work. Okay. Now let's proceed. What is the energy? More energy. You have the sun, vitality, joy, happiness. Figuring out what's going to make you feel good. And not chilling out watching TV is not. You got to get more active. So it's like you got to spoil that inner child in you. And it's something about you attending to yourself and watering your garden is nurturing that inner child in you. Something that you felt deprived of or just didn't have a lot of growing up. Now you have it. You're going to give it to yourself. I hear the small kindness in the Holy Quran. This is about it's like little acts of small kindness. It's like people who don't feed into the community, people who don't feed the poor, like things like that is what that surah talks about. Random acts of kindness, but want to show up in the prayer or in the congregational prayer like they're doing something. It's like people who boast about the little that they do. It's like woe to them. So I feel like the big picture thinking for you, Taurus, is like something, it has to be something creative and conducive to the community. With the yang energy and the Saturn, it's like you want to build up. Remember the Black Wall Street, and once it got torn down, they never really rebuilt it. That's the big picture thinking. I feel like you're on that wave. But it's not just a wave, it's going to turn reality with you, Taurus. Hard work, dedication, and patience. I'm doing this for my children. See? Planet Mars is in the building. Forward movement, defend yourself. And what's on the bottom? 9th house. That's spiritual evolution. That's right. Attending to your spiritual garden. 9th house is Sagittarius energy. That's more fire energy, but that's about spiritual evolution. Something happened where it just got you off the couch or pulled you out of apathy, where you found a newfound joy. It's like something triggered you. You could have learned something, or your kids could have came home and said something, or just listening to the kids speak amongst themselves. It's like, that's it. I'm trying to find my calling, and I think I found it. So you're doing some shadow work with the moon. Satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. That is you. Taurus. And then I have Sade. Love is stronger than pride. And I feel like what you're doing attends to children. with the sun. I'd rather stay home and have 7 babies than go outside and work like a man. That's what somebody feels like. I'm much better at staying home with my children. But I can't do that. So I'm going to have to build the empire so that I can stay home. I'm going to miss my children. God is calling you to say those the small kindness, because that's the energy, and love is stronger than pride. Like you figured out your calling through hard work and burdens. Not to say that the children are burdens, but you figured out what it is that you need. You have Bhakti, and you have, this is always my Chariot card. You see how she's moving through life, no matter how much it kicks her butt, she's still propelling forward. I like the colors of this. These cards match the colors in spiritual growth. So this is you. When you see Bhakti in the reading, it talks about devotion. You have begun walking on a path of devotion, and you have devoted yourself to something that's bigger. You've devoted to something that's bigger than you, your body, your possessions, your desires. And this is dedication to the Most High. That's why that sword is present. Just little small things count. They add up to be bigger blessings. Now it's time to ask yourself, what does all this mean to me? I feel like you were sitting home pondering, or sitting in your own personal space pondering, and you began praying and meditating. You want to offer services to those in need, and you want to spend time in nature. It does a lot for your spirit. You realize that. That's God talking to you, telling you what's going to feed your spirit. Oh, I love that for you. So when you get Dumati, my Chariot card, it's like disappointments and letting go. It's like you finally realize that after all the hardships and struggles you faced, they were brought on your path for very meaningful and important reasons. They shaped you to be the person you are, and you have put together the dots on all the most difficult points on your journey and realized that it was all necessary to be here. It was all worth it. Now you're called to say thank you to all the struggles you faced, and they made you or pointed you to your higher self. So it's like you have a different perspective now on life, because that's a total contrast. The apathy is like emotional discontent versus being vital and joy. And this is a little boy in the picture, and I feel like that pulls on your heartstrings. Okay, and it caused you to. Things happen for a reason. We meet people for a reason. And I just feel like you're on a double mission. You're serving the world by being you. Just by being you. And then pulse of the mother, earth mother. You see how she's laying down, connecting with earth, grounding herself? I feel like that's you connecting to God. Slow down. You want to create a space where you can slow down, or you're in a space where you can slow down. So how can you turn this into a business? Like, what is some of the stuff you can do at this point to build a community or to build a resource I feel like you yourself consider yourself to be a resource for the community. Yeah. Train. Okay. And position, expert. Step into your power boldly. Own your topic. Show how you can help. Position yourself as an expert or a niche. You might turn out to be a religious leader, Taurus. You might be. Something spiritual. It's definitely spiritual because you're connecting to the Most High and He's speaking to you through children. So it's leading you, it's something to do with a resource that is much needed that that they definitely can't be without. So it could be something like childcare, or just being a stay-at-home mom, or that's where your power is. You're learning that. Your children are more productive when you spend more time with them. I mean, that's nature, but when you're not working as hard, so to speak. If you have to be a single parent, or you lost your partner for whatever reason, you have to do it on your own. You got to balance out the checkbook. You do it well, but you just want to create something for yourself that creates that passive income, and you can stay home and just really take care of the children. Step up. You're ready to step up. Don't be the best kept secret in your niche. It's something you could do that regards children, whether you teach or you might create a space where they can express themselves. There's something about children and being expressive with this sun card right here. This is vitality and joy. This is operating from their heart space. So something that you have naturally that allows a child to be emotionally free. They're not emotionally bound by the horrors of the world or just whatever fell on the parents as a burden spilt over to the child's well-being in some way or another, emotionally and mentally. You have something really loving and really devout about you that caters to babies and children. So they don't grow up like this. It's like if I'm not careful, my kids will be like this on my couch with no progress, no ambition. I got to stand up for these kids. Yeah, Taurus, I really like your reading. I love children. I hear that. A lot of Taurus saying that. I love children. Like you'd be a great teacher. Some of you might go back to school and be elementary teachers. Like your kids are coming home and you're looking at their schoolwork and it's like you're offering my child the bare minimum. I can teach them more than that, and I didn't exceed 10th grade. Like what the fuck are you teaching my kid? My kids are coming home. You're setting my kids to come home. You set my kids up to come home like this. Bored, not mentally stimulated. Nobody cares. They on their phone. The TV's on. There's food spills. It's just a mess. It's not cool. Whatever you see in the community or the lack of resources that are in the community, this could speak to a particular cultural group like the African or Indian community, where they're most often in a lower income neighborhood or lower bracket school or something like that. And you're seeing all this. It's like you're seeing where you're learning where you could help. Like you're the expert. I would be super good at this because I'm passionate about it. See, give back. Donate to your community or causes that are close to your heart. It creates an energy of abundance around you and your business. I can't make this shit up. And now that's what you're brainstorming on. You're thinking. You got your thinking cap on. Keep fresh ideas flowing for your business. If you feel stuck, take some quiet time with your journal and write everything down that comes. So you're getting a premonition that you are a much greater resource if the businesses that you involve yourself in caters to the community. So you could be a healer. You're naturally empathic. You got the double mission card. Serve the world by being you. So if you're a light worker, you're learning that about yourself, that you are extremely compassionate and you're meant to be on a broader scale as to how you're going to show up for people. But you're starting at the beginning. You're going to work with children and groom them. You're going to give them a chance to not grow up fucked up. And you're going to groom them into the best men. You have a way with boys. Girls too, but you have a strong will with boys. It's a passion of yours. And I feel like you're gonna create something that caters to men growing up with emotional availability, and they're not emotionally blocked off, emotionally traumatized, emotionally distant. They're emotionally intelligent. They'll become more emotionally aware, and it's a balance to something. You see something and you can help, so you are. And you're going to turn it into a business. I see Aquarius on the bottom of my deck. That's innovative energy. House 3, early learning childhood, relations, the rational mind, and communication. You can speak to children on a level. Sigmund Freud is popping into my head. Sigmund Freud can refer to sex at, it talks about sex in a way where he can identify how people respond in a sexually explicit, how to express their sexuality or express sex at human beings at all ages. how they respond. Like, for example, a child from ages 1 to 4 puts a lot of emphasis on their booties. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like attract perverts or nothing like that, but if you listen to Sigmund Freud, he talks a lot about how we respond to our human nature at every age group, just to give you an example. And I feel like you may work with children who may struggle through sexual abuse or some kind of a lot of emotional traumas stemming from that. If you see a child, for example, you may see a young boy. You okay? You may see a young boy sneaking and watching porn. He's only 8 years old. You automatically can tell where he's emotionally blocked off at and he's trying to express himself. It has less to do with the sex and more to do with an emotional blockage somewhere. Or he may have an emotional blockage with his parents. So he's watching like porn. Like, you may think the two don't, like, why is this child watching pornography? But what he's really trying to do is express his love for a parental figure. But through porn, not in a way that's sexually explicit. You gotta remember, that's the surface level part of it. But sex is a way that bonds people together. But when the child turns to sex too early, it tends to be an emotional blockage somewhere. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there you go. Your receptive energy. Intuition, trust, patience, spirituality, receptivity. You're here to listen. And I feel like you may turn out to be a therapist, a child psychiatrist or something like that. It's something that's going to spiritually feed you because you're passionate about it. And this is God's way of telling you to answer your calling. This is your contribution to the community. And don't forget my favors that I bestowed upon you. He says that throughout his holy books. Never forget the favors I bestow upon you. And this is how I want you to give back. This is your passion. This is your calling. I'm connecting you with it so you can do it. Bruh, your reading is powerful. And you got Sag on the bottom. Optimism, exploration, and free. You need people to feel free. You need your children to be able to express themselves so you can help them as a parent. And that's what you're bringing that resource to a community full of mothers, maybe single mothers. Most of them probably are single or in a bad spot in a partnership where they're like not there. They're there, but they're not there. Proactivity, expression, doing, and forward motion. I see Malcolm X, like you're publicly speaking. You speaking out about this, whether it starts as a online platform or you just gather up a town, like how they had the neighborhood town watch, except that it's not a town watch. It's like, it may be a little bit of a town watch. It could be. I brought that up for a reason. Watch out for predators. We have to work together as parents to watch our children to make sure nobody's not looking inappropriately or interacting with our children as we send them outside to play. This is our community. We have to make sure that we're taking care of them. You watch my back, I watch yours. You watch my child, I watch yours. You dig what I'm saying? If your child's closer to your house, make sure they're all right. Like I would make sure your child is all right. It's just open lines of communication with, what is it? Where is it? House 3. That's Gemini energy. Gemini rules Mercury. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And so is Virgo. But house 3 is Gemini. Okay? Early learning, childhood relations. Like you can speak to anybody. You can break it down to anybody as if they were a 3-year-old child. As the simple things that we do that add up to be a lot. And you're working at it. You're training to be an expert at it. Exercise daily to keep your body and spirit strong, healthy, and full of energy you need to build your business. Something snapped in you and I can't see my kids go out like that. You see what I'm saying? See how they just sitting there unmotivated with nothing? I can't see my men do that shit. Like, I can't. I don't care if it's not my child. I just want to see him win. And you stepping up to the plate. We have house 11. That's Aquarius, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. You get ready to create a whole soul. You get ready to come into an entire soul tribe that's conducive to what you're doing. And then you have Gemini under that with curiosity, intellect, and networking. Brainstorm. How we going to put our heads together to better raise our children? Because we're left alone with these children for any reason or another. It don't even matter what the father did. Whether he's there or not, we as the mothers, we're going to toughen up. We're going to tighten our belt. That's what I get from you. That's what I have for you Taurus. That is a message. That's something that I feel like deserves to be pondered over, thought about, prayed over, like an Istikhara prayer. You make a decision either way. If it's something that resonates with you, or something that's been on your mind, something that you're thinking about, and I feel like it's worth looking into. So,
Can I get some cereal?
yes, you can. I gotta attend to the baby. The baby keep coughing in my videos. You guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.
You're on?